Apex Predator. For my first test, I went with hard launch for increased velocity, impact casing for increased damage on direct hits, Reconstruction as it's very nice, getting 2 shots off when it refunds to double capacity. It's also a pretty fast reload, works as essentially an improved auto-loading holster. And finally, bait and switch, as this is the pretty standard highest damage buffing option. Here, making sure that I can get good shots off. As you can see, I tested this earlier, and unfortunately there seems to be a bug, because you'll notice with that first shot there, bait and switch did not proc initially on weapon swap. It wasn't until I shot my first shot that bait and switch actually procced. And I mean, I can't imagine that that is intentional. That has to be a bug, as you know, normally in any other scenario, you're not going to be seeing that. And again, you can see not just a bug. I tried it again. This is something that I tested in other areas as well. So unfortunately, the Reconstruction bait and switch combo is really not that great if you're not going to be getting the buff from bait and switch on both shots. All right, so this is the one that I'm most interested in testing out, I think. Apex Predator with Reconstruction Bipod. So Bipod, there was a lot of hype from Bungie from my understanding, and then you look at what it does, and it does a 40% decrease to your damage per shot. And you'd have to ask yourself, why would I want to do 40% less damage per shot? Well, interesting combination of Reconstruction Bipod here is the two combined increase your magazine size to 4. Essentially, that is 400% damage, because you're doing 4 shots before you have to reload. So you're doing 40% damage less per shot, but you're getting 400% more shots off per second. That's a net increase in damage of 360%. Now, check my math there. I could be wrong, but this is insane. Further, the ammo capacity here, I'm at 12. I believe I was at 6 when I tested this earlier, without any reserves on either bipod or without bipod. So I have doubled my ammo capacity, also massively insane for rockets, because you're doubling your ammo capacity. Rockets, probably one of the biggest drawbacks is their ammo capacity, and I've just doubled it with this. And 40% damage less per shot, okay, fine. But I'm doubling my damage overall. That's a 60% net increase total damage output. So you are doing 360% damage per second net increase with this combination, and an overall net increase of 60% total. And you can see here, just basically say goodbye. I mean, I missed the shot. But in the time it took me to reload, Reconstruction Bipod already has me back up to 2 shots. I mean, this reloads insanely fast with this combination. As you can see, this is going to be nuts. So a fun little side note that I don't think anybody has mentioned yet about enhanced bipod. I've seen in the description and online the blast radius and reload speed reduction is not as bad. It's only slightly reduced with enhanced bipod. Nowhere am I seeing it mention the increased ammo capacity. Right now I have on triple solar reserves, but before I did that, I was at 16 rounds. For my last clip with regular bipod, that was 12 shots. Enhanced Bipod jacks you up another 4 rounds to 16. And because I wanted to show the full insanity possibility of Enhanced Bipod with this triple solar reserves, I have an 18 shot rocket launcher. This rocket launcher is only doing 40% less damage per shot. So you are netting a 260% damage output overall with Enhanced Bipod. This is pretty crazy. If you compare that to, say, Bait and Switch, which had a 35% increase, even if wasn't bugged and you got that on both shots from my earlier playtest, you're still netting a huge loss in terms of both damage per second and overall damage output from Apex Predator. I mean, I think this is the god roll, and I don't know, this could be the most effective damage per second and overall damage that's in the game right now. I mean, Rockets is very popular, and I mean, again, that insane damage per second increase, basically 360%, right? Because you're reloading 4 times less frequently. You can switch to things that have, auto loading, like Wither Horde or, other items while you're waiting for reconstruction, because that tops it off super fast. And I mean, really, even if you're not, it's just insane. You have an insane damage per second output increase, way higher than Bait and Switch, and the overall damage way higher than it is. I mean, this is just insane.